everyone, and welcome to another edition of Starting 11 here on the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia. I have no idea what Snark's doing, and this is our Premier League recap show. We'll be talking about Matchweek 3, was it? Or 4?
It was Matchweek 3.
Yeah, Matchweek 3 in the Premier League this season. But we will not be alone here on the show this week. We are welcoming back to the show our good buddy, Fares Muthana.
I'ma need a day off. I think I call Fares up.
Starting 11.
So, guys, how's everybody doing? Were you grabbing your breasts? What are you doing?
I was rubbing the good luck Chelsea shirt for happiness this time. Finally, a week.
Yeah, the ghost of Raheem Sterling showed up.
Yeah, I didn't. Wait, your apparel brand is Umbro?
Oh no, this is 2005. So this
is because that's the
Samsung. An 18-year-old.
Yeah, so I see the Samsung. Yo, man, the Samsung logo with the Chelsea is pretty iconic. I hate to admit it, but it is.
Yeah, and then they started giving it to any Tom, Dick, or Harry that wanted it. Kind of
almost as iconic as the O2 and the JVC. Almost.
Well, the O2 is the one I think of. When I think of an Arsenal shirt, I'll think of that shirt for sure. And Thierry Henry, of course. Now it's a long time ago.
Big fan of the bruised banana, though.
Yeah. Speaking of a long time ago, we can we're gonna start the week off because in England, former VAR official Mike Dean was on a panel, and he explained to everybody, this is going back a year now to that famous game versus Tottenham at the Bridge, one where Tuchel and got into a fight. It's a mess. It was horribly officiated by Anthony Taylor. It comes down to the end, and something that we discussed heavily on the show. I believe I was quite upset at the time. I believe I am still quite upset by it, but I really need to move past it. And like he was talking about when Cucurella gets his hair pulled down inside the box on the free kick from the corner, he didn't want to send Anthony Taylor to go look at it like he should have. He knew it was a penalty. He didn't want to send him over there to look at it because he'd had a rough go of it, and he didn't want to show him up because they were mates.
He said he missed it.
He didn't. He said he missed it at the time. He lied. He lied. He admitted to lying. He saw it. At least that's what he's saying now. That he, of course, is not an official. He is an official because he's so goddamn bad at it. People don't just leave this job. Yes, but it's validation.
So bad that they say, you know what, no one grows up and says, I'm gonna be a ref. You know what I mean? No one wants to be a ref. Being a ref is horrible. Imagine how bad, that's slim pickings. Imagine how bad you have to be where they said, you know what? You need to go.
What's that phrase? Those that can't do teach, or in this case, those that can't do ref, I guess. And now they don't even have to do that. They can do whatever they want. It's been a year. It still bugs me. I hate Tottenham. I hated them even more after that match. I hated the refs. I hate Taylor. I think we've almost every week we've gone, at least last year, we went and found where he was gonna officiate next. I said, oh shit, that's who they get. I root every time. The first game this year, I saw Anthony Taylor was reffing the game against Liverpool. I thought, well, we're screwed. I don't trust this man. And now there's validation for all these thoughts. There's validation for everybody who said that this is corruption. We got validated. So
well, it's not. Rob. It wasn't Anthony Taylor's fault.
Yeah, but it's the VAR.
It's Mike Dean's fault.
Yeah, it's VAR. There's
VAR's fault. Yeah, so Anthony Taylor could miss.
It wasn't one man.
Yeah. Anthony Taylor could miss what happened in the box. You miss a lot of stuff that happens.
He missed a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he missed a lot of stuff.
That was just the last thing.
He also, didn't say that, Nico Jackson was a handball in that Liverpool game when, you could have said it's a handball.
He was.
No, you say it wasn't, but he could have said it
It
was.
would have. There's no way it would have been upheld. There's no way it would have been upheld.
You know,
It was,
but
his,
we
his
don't know
arms
about
were
that,
in his
Rob.
body.
We don't
His
know
arms are-
about that. We say
They made the one right call with this week with the guy
Rob,
going
some
to
people
ground
say
to
that
brace
Tottenham
himself, and
Hotspur
no one not.
goalie when he went after that Bournemouth player, some people were like, "That's a clear and present foul," and someone was like, "No, it's not."
Yeah,
and it could
people are wrong.
they could have given it to you. You may not agree with it. But, they saw Andre Onana take out a man in midair and said, "You know what? Not a foul."
Because it was Manchester United.
Yeah.
They get this all the time. That is not.
That's
shocking.
why they won 9 of the first 13 EPL titles, because they're cheating.
They sure went after Pickford the next week for it. They had no chance. They had no.
Yeah, well, Pickford tried to punch somebody's head off.
Yeah, Superman punched him.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was either a flying clothesline or a Superman punch. It was the same
They
play.
call it Old Trafford. I call it Old Cheatford.
Oh, okay. I think that's apt. That's apt.
Yeah,
But now,
yeah.
I just wanted to talk about the validation. Oh my gosh. I want to talk about validation real quick.
Adelia's not
Because
amused.
we are not doing an hour show again. This is it. I'm saying it right now. Okay. So we're going to go on to the good news. The good news of the
We should
week,
go in an
guys.
hour.
Chelsea is back, taking on a gallant.
You guys are not back. You guys beat Luton Town. Get out of here, Rob. Get out of here. You should have. If you didn't beat Luton Town at Stamford Bridge, your team is in completely out of shambles. Like shambles. Like you guys wasted $1 billion on nothing.
You didn't even let me finish. I was gonna say, gallant and deadly and super tricky and fast and dangerous club in Luton, which is.
Why are we lying? Why are you lying? What are we doing? Why are you lying?
He's lying because he's a Chelsea fan. He wants to
you're a
pretend
liar.
that the
Get
ghost
out of
of
here.
Raheem Sterling
If you
didn't
didn't
rescue
win
them against Luton.
Rob, if you didn't win by more than one goal, if that first goal where you scored and it was 1-0 and you hadn't scored any more goals, that's an embarrassing win.
To be fair, and when we were talking about when we were we were doing our predictions and stuff like that, I was like, do we score more than one goal? I honestly didn't know if we could do it. I thought we could win, but I was like, Chelsea had me at the point where I honestly had reservations. I wouldn't say doubts, but reservations about picking them for the win.
All I'll say is this, Rob. Every historical team, which is you, and every team that made the top 5 or 6 last year, if they don't beat Luton Town at least 3-0, it's a disappointing game.
Yeah.
End of discussion. I'm sorry.
It's getting that way with a few teams this year. It's not last year.
Yeah, it's a disappointing win. Like if Liverpool faces Luton Town and they don't win at least 3-0, disappointment. Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Newcastle, disappointment.
You know what?
I'll also add West Ham and Aston Villa. If they don't beat Luton Town 3-0, disappointment.
We're gonna talk about West Ham when we get there.
Man, shout out to West Ham.
I'm gonna
taking 140 million and turning into 3 good players.
Yeah.
Well, 2.5.
They've done well. They've done real well. Let's talk about quick Raheem Sterling. And you said the ghost of Raheem Sterling, but
galloping.
He did show up last week too. This is what we were seeing. So I think this is just him, like Pochettino plays or is coaching now a style that actually is going to work for Raheem Sterling. I think yes. Obviously, the defense maybe not as tight and as solid as some other teams that we'll see in the Premier League. Maybe the goalkeeping, not as, storied as other goalkeepers in the league, but you still have to put those balls in. And in which a season ago, a ball would go over the net, or he'd put it wide, or it'd be a weak dribbler into the keeper, or he'd try to make a bizarre pass, kind of like what he did last week. But this time, 2 goals for Raheem, and finally a goal for Nicholas Jackson. I'm hoping that this is the kind of thing that he needed. He just needed to get the one through. Now he can relax. He's got his goal. He has his Premier League account is open. Hopefully, and he was dangerous in the first 2 matches. He's had chances. So now that he has the monkey off his back, this is hoping for a great season for Nicholas Jackson. I am not expecting huge numbers. I would love to see him score 15 goals this year, but he's got time. Guys, we are down to the last week of the transfer window, I don't see Chelsea getting a striker to replace him. I could think of maybe them getting
He's
some
also
kind
not a
of
striker. He's a winger, Rob.
He's a striker. He's what we're using as a number 9.
Using
So
Raheem Sterling as a 9?
no, I'm talking Nicholas Jackson.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah, no.
oh yeah, well, yeah, Nico Jackson's, yeah, he's a 9.
Yeah,
He's just a young 9.
yeah,
Could he
now he's going
become
to
a
get playing
good
time.
9? Maybe.
I think so.
He's too young. He's too young. He's 21 playing. He's 21 playing in the English Premier League. If you're saying if people are saying he's ready for the EPL, but then people are saying Flo Balogun isn't ready for the EPL, then I don't understand people's evaluation process. Because if you think one 21-year-old is ready, but the other 22-year-old isn't,
I think the problem with Flo Balogun is just that he has to climb over 2 guys.
One of them was injured, and they should have played him.
Yeah, but when you're third in the depth chart, and you want to keep this player, it's best to put him out on loan so he plays. He does no good. Yeah, he does. Well, is it like it's a sold deal? It was a permanent transfer.
He's at AC Monaco.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would never have done that.
Because he didn't want to go on loan. He said either you play me or you sell me. We're not doing that loan shit no more. You play me or you sell me. That's why they weren't going to get the $80 million. Because when the player has declared he wants to leave.
He went to Monaco? You went to the French league?
Yeah, Monaco. Monaco is spending 45 million plus add-ons, which is probably around 55 million.
He'll probably get 25 goals over there.
Well, he scored 21 at Reims.
It's the French league. Yeah,
I expect him to score 25 goals a year at AC Monaco.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Rob, with that. He has to usurp a established 9 at Monaco. So I'm confused on why you going to Monaco.
You take a look at. I'm not sure who the players are at Monaco. I'm sure that anybody who's the first selection number 9 at Monaco won't be as good as a guy who was third in the depth chart at a Premier League squad. But who knows? I might be wrong. But there's a reason why only one team ever goddamn wins the French leagues anyway. So
before they were bought by the Qataris, it was a very competitive league.
Yeah, right.
Except those 7 years, Lyon won every year.
A couple other things quickly, because I could talk about this all day. We could just call this the Rob Talks About Chelsea shows, no problem.
Absolutely not.
I thought Enzo and Caicedo looked good for the first time playing together. They look good. Caicedo was much better than he was in that a brief appearance he had in the previous game. I thought Sanchez
he had nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, that's true.
He literally had nowhere to go.
It was awful. It was awful. But he was fine. He was fine. He was a little more settled in. And it's Luton Town. I get it. Sanchez looked all right. He only had to make the one weird save.
Yeah,
that was one ball that was the deflecting. And he got the ball. That's all he had. It was all he was called to do. But I think he distributes the ball really well. I think he makes quick decisions with the ball, and I think that's the kind of thing Pochettino wants to see. We got the new goalie coming in with Petrovic, somebody to push him. I don't think guys like Beach or anything like that is going to be doing that kind of thing. So,
goalie from the New England Revolution, by the way, MLS.
Yeah, people are saying good things about him, but we'll see.
He's the 4th highest sold player ever from the MLS.
I think that Chelsea plays. Is it the FA Cup this week? I think they play Wednesday against Wimbledon.
Carabao.
It's the Carabao Cup. They play Wednesday against Wimbledon, so I would imagine that he plays that game, but we'll see. A quick note about Luton Town. They had Ross Barkley on their squad. Ross Barkley, former Chelsea guy. It's nice to see him get back with the league, but he showed why no one trusts Ross Barkley. Nobody.
Well, you know what? Luton Town deserves all the smoke because they got rid of Ethan Horvath, and that was a bad decision.
Quick Chelsea news. Andre Santos sent to Nottingham Forest. It kind of screwed up maybe a loan transfer deal that we could have done with some French squad for somebody that people say we have an eye on. I just don't know who we're going to get from there. And 2 big pieces of news. As if this week wasn't good enough, we get rid of Romelu Lukaku for the year again. We get rid of him. At least this guy's, we're going to be not losing money on him this year, which is nice. He goes over. That's right. He goes over to our old pal, the special one, AS Roma. I think it costs $6 million they're paying of his fee, but
Oh,
we're getting
7.
is it 7 million? And then
Oh,
we're getting
7.
and then it's a $5 million loan fee. So essentially his wages for the year is paid and he doesn't have to be anywhere near the
Oh, 6
squad.
million. You're right, Rob.
And then there's talk that Manchester United, now that they're down a guy on the wing, may be looking at Mark Cucurella on a season-long loan. And if I can get rid of Mark Cucurella and Romelu Lukaku in the same week we win, is there a better week to the English Premier League? I ask you. There isn't. But guys,
this is the happiest I have seen Rob when talking about Chelsea in a very long time.
yeah,
And their opponents were fucking Luton Town.
that's right. It feels like an old, it
And they
feels
call
like an old
Arsenal
Chelsea
and they
win.
call Arsenal fans deranged.
Yeah.
They have to win. You gotta win. You gotta win something to actually.
We have
thinking that
won
you're in the
stuff,
top
Rob.
clubs.
We won.
Top
We've
clubs.
won some. Okay, calm
let's
down,
not,
Rob.
Let's not get. Let's not get.
No,
into that.
I like how these motherfuckers be like, "Oh, y'all gotta win stuff." We did
5
something
minutes.
none of you motherfuckers have ever done to this day. They'll
Yeah.
talk about how
We-
great
we
you
are
were.
past the 5-minute mark. Yes.
Yeah, I kept looking at the timer. It's like, did we do it? I knew I didn't. I know I didn't. Anyways, guys, let's have Justin come on with a little less potty talk, Mr. Fares, and tell us,
Screw you,
tell our
Rob.
good friends about our Patreon.
Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. As little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
That is patreon.com/LGR_network if you're interested in helping support the channel. Thank you so much if you do.
That's right. Okay, we're going to move into the Saturday matches now. And I'm going to try and do this quicker. We spent far too much time me gloating, rightfully so. Let's move.
Luton
Not
Town, you
rightfully so.
loser.
Let's move to Bournemouth, losing at home to Spurs 2-0.
I don't like this.
No, they still they look good. Like there's no
Yeah.
other way. Like Spurs look good. It's Bournemouth. You want to talk about? Oh, Chelsea only beat Luton. Well, they've only beat Bournemouth this week. They look good. Madison, pretty nifty goal. Some real good ball movement to find himself in space. What do you think of Son? Not really the goal threat this year, but he is a facilitator. He's more setting up plays and stuff like that, which I think he's finding himself in a more comfortable spot where you don't have to worry about it. Everybody else is going to score. Everybody except for maybe Richarlison will score, I should say.
Richarlison is the gift that keeps on giving.
It's unbelievable.
It's so funny.
He's such a loser.
It's a strange thing. It's a strange thing. Yeah, Kulusevski with the other goal. Now, a quick bit of transfer rumors for them. I was talking last week that for some reason, Brendan Johnson, even though I like Brendan Johnson, I don't think he's a 50 million pound player. Tottenham
50
might.
million?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tottenham might. It looks like he could go to Spurs.
Heard about that, but 50 million? That's crazy.
It's a lot. Now, Bournemouth, they need to get more from Solanke. Unfortunately, a lot of it is going to fall onto his shoulders, which is unfair. But
Yeah.
he needs to produce more than he did. Not a great showing for him. Let's move on because, we spent too much time on Spurs there, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Brentford won and Palace won. And Sade gets his not the sweetest taboo. Maybe that's a good nickname for him. I'm going to call Kevin Sade from now on the sweetest taboo. Gets a really terrific goal. A first goal for Brentford. Really nice dribbling inside the box. And
It was a fantastic goal.
Yep. I thought that the conditions, the rainy pitch, may have helped to the sloppy play, but it didn't. It did not look like a fun
So
game.
Rob, so you're telling me Kevin Sade was a smooth operator who gave Brentford the kiss of life?
That's right. I do like the sweetest taboo as a nickname. I think that's pretty cool. There you go. That's his name. I think Mark Flecken looked good in net. Oh my god. For Brentford, I thought he was actually quite good. And then Joaquin Anderson. Was there a more bizarre goal this week?
No.
Yeah, it's just like everyone just kind of gives up, and he barely touches this thing. Goes through the wicket. Like as soon as I say, I was impressed with Flecken. Goes through the wickets, barely over the line. That's your tie game. Not much out of Wissa or Mbumo. I thought the Palace played quite well defensively. And again, people being quiet. Eze was quiet. Edouard, quiet. I'm thinking it's the rain. It was a crap pitch. It looked terrible. So you imagine it would slow the play down. That's going to hamper guys like this. But
why isn't Michael Olise playing if they're not selling him?
I don't.
He signed that 4-year deal.
He has a hamstring injury, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was nursing. It was going to be 4 weeks if he came to Chelsea. It would have been 4 weeks till he got on the pitch. So it's going to be 4 weeks for him there too. So we'll see. We'll see in a couple of weeks if he comes in. I don't know how much he played in the run up during training and stuff like that too.
They held him off for rumors and they kept him. Now they're getting rid of him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
We'll see.
This is such a weird thing. 35 million release clause, and then they're thinking, "Oh, that's unfair." It's like you're the guys that negotiated it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's like when that team, when Arsenal, did that release clause with that one player, and that team was like, "No, that's illegal. We're not giving you that player."
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool.
Yeah, it happens.
That's when we bid £1 over £1 over the release clause for Luis Suarez.
Yeah,
that just pissed them off, Fares.
So you negotiated the release clause. It's your fault.
You guys almost bit the bullet with that one.
No, we really wanted that guy. Oh yeah.
All right. Speaking of,
where is he nowadays?
Luis Suarez. Gremio.
Yeah. Let's move on to another couple of teams that bite. Everton and Wolverhampton.
Oh, this game.
Someone bit somebody?
No.
I was about to say. It's like, who bit somebody?
In a literal sense. The Toffees can't get it together. All kinds of chances. They cannot finish. They are terrible at it. I think Jose Sa had a very good game. Let's say that. Doucouré, he's playing well, but at some point this thing has to go in the net. They could have easily had 2 wins this year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when you get no goals out of it, you're not going to win them. It's just like that. It was Sasa Kolajic with a late winner. Now, in like the 86th minute or something like that. So it was that kind of game until right then. He came on only whatever it was 3 or 4 minutes beforehand. They say, oh, it was a nice flick and stuff like that. But did he flick it on? I think it went off his face. I think he missed it.
I'm not sure.
There were 6 yellows in this game.
Yeah.
6 yellows. Either the ref was trigger happy or this was an extremely physical game.
Well, I think people are late getting into spots, they have to take a foul. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean that it's physical. It means that people are slow in that position. That also.
You tell me people in the English Premier League are slow defenders?
No,
interesting.
People are in the wrong spot.
Interesting, Robert.
Oh, if you'd like, you can start up the Serie A podcast, and you can, if it only takes half an hour.
That'd be a great podcast. It'd be like Calcio Cappuccinos with Fares.
Ugh, gross. Now, a week left. Is it too late for Everton to find anybody to score?
No, it's too late. No,
they were booed soundly off the field.
So
they're opening this huge new stadium next year, and they were.
I don't know why they're going to be opening that up in the championship.
Yep. They are, because they're
Like,
terrible.
Yeah,
they're pretty bad.
we had
Like
trouble.
I
but
started
we can
realizing
root
like
for them.
who are it's gonna be those 4 teams. It's gonna be Burnley. People think Burnley's an automatic stay up because of Vincent Company,
They-
but Burnley hasn't looked good.
No.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
So Burnley, Everton, Luton, and Sheffield United, they're gonna fight to those
Wolves as well. Fares.
Wolves.
Yeah,
No, but I
the
think
Wolves
Wolves
beat
is gonna
Everton, but
I think Wolves is gonna beat a couple of teams that you don't expect to beat. Like they should have beaten Man United, and
They got
But they didn't. That's
got
the point.
That's the point. But
and
I
not
think
beat them. They should have gotten a point out of them, maybe.
Yeah, they should have gotten at least a point.
Yeah.
I think they beat them in the return game. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. I probably.
Well, we'll talk about Man United.
Yeah.
So I
We're
think
talking next.
those 4 teams facing each other, that's gonna be the games you need to watch because like if they have victories over each other, get them points and it leads them to better goal differential.
Last year, the race to the bottom was maybe more fascinating than the race to the championship.
Mhm.
So it could hold true.
There's
again
about
this
like
year.
6 teams that could have gotten relegated coming into the last week, and then Nottingham Forest won the week prior, and they were safe. And then the last week it was like a battle between like 5 or 4 teams.
Everton's been on that line the last 2 years, and maybe it's time. Maybe it's just
On the last match day last year, there were 3 teams battling it out for 2 relegation spots. That's not where you want to be.
No.
And on NBC, one of the first questions Rebecca Lowe asked after the game where Everton stayed up last year was, "Are we going to be back here next year for this exact same scenario?" And the panel's answers were all, "I think so." Even Tim Howard, who loves Everton, was like, "Yeah, no, they're not in a good place right now."
Greatest American ever.
Everton is. I don't know about that, Fares. Everton is not
Yes, to
looking
me,
good
goddammit.
at all.
No,
They're not
Okay.
good. They're not good.
They're not good. Wolves
not good
are
at all.
also not good. They got a lucky goal
Mhm.
and won this game.
They were hemmed in against Everton for most of the match. Like Everton was the better team. They just lost again.
I don't understand what Everton is trying to do. If they actually sell or have sold Damari Gray to the Saudis, I don't know what that's all about. Why are you getting rid of one of the few players on your team that actually scored a couple of goals last year? I don't get it at all.
You got to pay for the stadium somehow.
I know you got to pay for the stadium, but you're definitely not going to get help with paying for the stadium if you get relegated, and you're going to get relegated if you can't score goals. So why are you getting rid of a goal scorer? I don't understand it.
Hey, man, bro.
It's almost like they're not managed very well.
Exactly.
They're not managed well at all.
Who owns this team? Because this used to be a like top 5 winning team. These team like Everton had a team with good history.
It's been a long time since Everton's been up there like that.
Well, you know what? You're right, man. Gary Lineker ain't walking through that door.
He could. He might.
Well,
he might be able.
Well, you know what? Actually, they don't.
You
know what? They actually don't want him to walk through that door because he So Everton won like 3 straight titles. Then he walked through that door. They lost, and they got rid of him. Then they won the championship again right after he left him. So actually, they don't want Gary Lineker walking through that door.
Yeah, Everton is owned by a man named Farhad Moshiri, which I probably said completely wrong.
Definitely.
He's a British-Iranian businessman based out of Monaco. He's the chairman and shareholder of USM, a diversified Russian holding company with interests in metals and mining and other things.
Yeah, Russians, you say?
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh. And you said Monaco.
But the man that's making the decisions at Everton though is Bill Kenwright, the chairman.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not making good decisions.
By the way, Farhad, probably Farhan. He for sure. He's just a Monaco because he don't want to pay no taxes.
Yeah.
Tax evasion ass.
That's smart. Okay, let's move on. Manchester United and Forest. Dream opening for Forest. What are you gonna do?
I was enjoying the beginning of this match so much.
A minute in, and how do they score? The way they score their goals off a counterattack from a poorly played corner. And it was
hysterical because they did an interview with Erik ten Hag before this match where he said, I'm worried about Forest on the counterattack. And then that's immediately how they scored.
Yeah, it's how they
So, Andre Onana is not a good goalie, is he?
I don't think he is.
I don't. So I guess that Champions League,
so.
that Champions League run with Inter Milan really threw me off, right? Like that threw me off, right?
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has. Well, I think that play or whatever crashing into that guy and the amount of scrutiny he got, maybe he wasn't ready for it. But he played in Italy. Like, I don't know.
We also played at Ajax. Well, also too, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You need to know where these. Okay, so Ajax literally let him leave on a free.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we don't want you. That doesn't that say something to you?
Well, I think this is after. Is it after Ten Hag left, or while Ten Hag was there? Because Ten Hag was very much looking forward to him coming back. Got rid of the Golden Gloves last year for this guy, but
yeah, and then he rolled up at Inter Milan and was like, "Hey, man, I think he's a good goalie, but like he has not looked good at all." But the really
he gives up goals. Gives up goals.
But here's the thing: the biggest crime is that was not a penalty.
We're gonna talk about
that was not a penalty. But that's like the Casemiro Eriksson goal. The Eriksson goal was nice. Marcus Rashford.
It was nice, but Matt Turner has to stop that ball. The one that it comes in from Fernandez. You have to stop it. The play ends. The play ends there, and it dribbles out to Rashford.
Yeah.
It's a nice pass into Eriksson, who scores. Casemiro gets a goal. Casemiro gets his yearly goal.
The ghost of Casemiro.
My local shop owner, Casemiro.
The zombie Casemiro with the goal.
Yeah, but that's not a penalty, man. That was nonsense.
We're going to talk right now. Joe Worrell, the straight red card for taking down Fernandez. Now, he takes him down outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
The ball wasn't played by him. And looking at the replay, do you think he gets to that ball first? I think either Matt Turner gets there or the other guy who was running would have made it there before him as well. I think it's a bad call by Worrell. He never should have even, it's Fernandez. You touch this guy, he's going to go to the ground. This is what United does because they get the calls. You should know this. Anything close and they're going to go down. And he may have been beat, but I don't think Fernandez gets to that ball first. Doesn't matter. Worrell goes, of course, Fernandez is going to make a meal out of it. He's yelling for the flag before he even hits the ground. This is what they're trained to do. He gets the call. So bye-bye, Joe Worrell. And then 8 minutes later, it's another play where Danilo sticks his foot out. Mm-hmm. And there goes Rashford again. Rashford is always going to look to go to ground. Do not let the refs make this decision, guys. Let him go around you. Look where he is. You think he's making it back out? He's not.
Nah.
Let him go around you. It's a terrible play, and you know that he's gonna get the contact, and you know he's gonna throw his hands up like this, turn around and make sure.
Rob, you can't tell the player that, man. How about you tell the ref to do his damn job correctly? Like what the play? Like you tell
the knee hits like the knee, like he does hit the knee. Yes,
no, man, that's not enough.
Yeah,
that's not enough. I'm sorry.
He goes to ground very easily.
Yeah, it's not enough. It looked like he got shot by a sniper. That's what it looked like. It looked like someone.
United gets these calls all the time. This is
I know,
why
and that's the problem we need to talk about. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, man. And it's annoying as hell because, like, bro, Rashford literally turns the corner. He plays up on Rashford. Like, he's close, but he's not fouling him. Then Rashford bumps his knee. He hit him.
Yeah.
Stuart Atwell, who was the referee of this match, did not make a call here, but it wasn't a clear and obvious error that VAR could step in on.
There's no way they could have stepped in. There's no way. Yeah. The contact is made. It's in the box. The call was made. Somebody had money on this, I'm sure. And it's like everybody in that PGMOL is corrupt as far as I'm concerned. So I don't believe anybody anymore. Anyways. Fernandez takes the penalty. Of course, it's Fernandez. They win. 2-goal leads. Still the worst lead in sports, especially when you have it after 4 minutes. 4 minutes, and they just fell apart.
They did.
Forest don't win on the road. This is what happens.
Forest
they'll be fine. Yeah, they'll be fine, but they don't win on the road. Speaking of winning on the road, and the first surprise of the week,
Yeah.
West Ham beats Brighton at the Amex, 3-1. And it's a mistake from Adam Webster giving up the ball to Michael Antonio, who's been good this year. Out of nowhere, Michael Antonio been really good. And he finds James Ward-Prowse. It's amazing that this guy went so long without signing, and he signed for so goddamn little.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Gets his first goal for the Hammers. For once, he wasn't creating anything from a free kick. He just takes the ball off a nice pass from Antonio. Jared Bowen, again, playing so well so far this season. Flicking a real nice little flick or whatever, and a pass from Benny Rama. And then it's Michael Antonio himself spinning past Webster. Webster did not have a good game. Let's put it that way.
No.
He did not play well. Puts the ball in the bottom corner. Pascal Gross gets one later on. We'll say this for West Ham. Alphonse Areola has been terrific for them.
He was fantastic in this game.
Yeah, I think he said he made 9 saves or something like that. Yeah, it was a lot. And surpassing Fabianski as first choice keeper.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty good
I was a little surprised to see Fabianski on the bench for the first game of the season, but with the way Areola's been playing, I totally understand why. To say that the first goal for West Ham came against the run of play might be pretty obvious. This graphic came up not long after that Brighton 0, West Ham 1. Brighton completed passes 220, West Ham 13.
Yeah.
Sometimes passing a lot does not leads to nothing.
What's that?
That also tells you about possession and how much Brighton had the ball, and that West Ham had hardly any of it until they got it and got goal.
This is how they've been set up to play. They did the exact same thing against Chelsea last week. Chelsea had the ball all the time and just couldn't work their way into net. They get frustrating when it gets down. They're playing solidly from the back line. The goaltender has been really good. They can score when they need to. They're getting through.
They want to get you on the counterattack. Like stats like that show like how did West Ham win this? When Brighton had the ball, they went down the field. Brighton couldn't convert. Boom on the break.
Yeah.
And then you boom on the break and you score your goals. So it happened all the time, man. So that's it happened with the Netherlands and America. Like America had even amount of possession, but America lost 3-0. Why? America on the fast break couldn't stop Memphis Depay and Darren Blind, and they went up 2-0 and the game was over.
Those are not their names, but okay.
It is Memphis Memphis
Depay.
Memphis Depay.
And Daley Blind.
Daley Blind. Well, he spells his name like blind. I apologize. I'm sorry. I see blind. I see blind. It's BLABLIND. That's blind, right?
Okay.
I do like how you just said I see blind.
Like I see blind. It's like Sade, right? You see Sade's name, right? It's SADE, right? You're like SADE. The A makes the A sound. So it's Sade, right? You think it's Sade, right? Your brain's like that's Sade, but no, it's Sade.
It's almost Sade. Like almost an R. It's the
the
first.
Yeah. I also want to say that something has to be done about Lucas Paqueta. He hit in the chest, barely, and went down like he'd been shot in the face.
It's an embarrassment.
He for sure put was like James Milner is gonna get a yellow.
Yeah, like all of the tweets ever since they came out that they're doing this investigation into Lucas Paqueta. Every single time he's under a microscope, and every time he does something like this, people are all like, "Oh, he's got money on that guy getting a yellow card," which is apparently what the subject of the investigation is about. And
he was supposed to get yellow cards or something.
Well, there was a game where he was an odds-on favorite to get a yellow card, even though he'd only had 3 yellow cards all season, which didn't make any sense. There's a lot of things that don't make much sense, but something has to be done about him.
matching up with other players and stuff like that. There's parlays being played, and then would happen the same thing or whatever. It's almost like they've been communicating. So this is what they're getting.
That's why Man City ends up buying Jeremy Doku instead of him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
And that's why Man City's going for Matthias, the guy from Wolves,
Nunez
instead of him. So like two players are like, we'll choose them two instead of the criminal.
I think it's.
I don't understand the Man City interest in Matthias Nunez, but that's beyond the point.
It doesn't matter. He'd be on the bench there anyways.
But something has to be done about Keta because he's an embarrassment.
Yeah, it's terrible. First time that West Ham has beaten Brighton in the Premier League. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
To be fair,
what
the amount of times they've actually been in the
they haven't played that often in the Premier League.
Yeah,
but it is the first time that West Ham's beaten Brighton.
Well, speaking of West Ham,
West Ham ended the day on Saturday, top of the table, which is very weird to say.
Crazy.
A bunch of West Ham fans should have screenshotted that standings.
Yeah, they'll need it.
They probably did.
They'll need it. They can wipe their tears.
No, they're second. They're actually they're second.
Yeah, Moy still has a job, Adelia, and
he has a job, and
he's been earning it. He's been earning his job.
With the way they're playing, he deserves to have a job.
All he needed was a supposedly major European trophy, and he's been fine.
Yeah.
Also, too, West Ham, completed the signing of Mohamed Kudus from Ajax, as well as they bought two players from Ajax actually. I don't know how often Edson Alvarez plays because I haven't watched West Ham a lot.
He started this game. So yeah, Edson Alvarez, who is the Mexican national team's I think second best player behind Santi Jimenez. Santi Jimenez, he's the striker from Feyenoord. So Edson Alvarez and Mohamed Kudus from Ajax. So that they're going to be big injections into their team.
Okay, let's move on because I am going to be called a liar again very shortly in 18 minutes. Let's talk about. I'll let you guys talk real quick. I got some thoughts about Arsenal drawing with Fulham at the Emirates.
We shouldn't have drawn.
Yeah, so I said
it shouldn't be a draw.
You don't think?
And honestly, yeah, because that first goal, they didn't earn that goal. That goal was given to them. Bukayo Saka just gave it up.
Yeah.
And then when he gave it up, and people are blaming Ramsdale on the goal, right? It's like, no. So he sees Saka have the ball.
I don't think anybody is.
So no. There is.
There are people that are, yeah.
There is, Rob. Trust me. No, Rob.
Yeah. Oh, I believe people are doing it.
They're wrong. They're wrong, but they're doing it. So they're on the offensive. So he moves up like most goalies do.
Mm-hmm.
He's not expecting the best player on the team to just give the ball away, and Bukayo Saka, he doesn't that mistake was.
It was a mistake. It was a horrible mistake.
Yeah.
It led to a goal.
Yeah.
I think they got slightly lucky in the goal because I think he meant to lob it over Ramsdale and he mishit it and it still went in the net.
Yeah, it kind of went out the side of his foot or something like that.
Yeah.
Weird turn. He may have been in an okay position if the ball was struck rightly, but it was a fluky kind of thing that happened. He goes in. Now, Havertz finally gets taken off. You guys, I've said lots of things.
Okay, here's Robert. All right,
go ahead.
Shut up. All right, I know what you're gonna try to do. All right, he's fitting. He's as a dual player. He has very good tendencies. It's just that I just don't think he fits with these midfielders.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he was with another group of, I personally think the midfielders that should be in the game at the beginning of the game, it's Partey, Rice, Odegaard. It should be a kind of, I don't know, like the two center holdings in the 10. That's what I think.
Pivot.
The double pivot. That's what I think. Yeah, so it is a double pivot, right? So that's it. That's what I think it should be.
Okay.
I don't want to see Thomas Partey playing right back because let me tell you something. No. He's not a right back. Enough of this I want it to be versatile. I want to have options. Yeah, that's cool and all, but have someone who can actually play right back, who's actually played right back ever. He doesn't play right back for his national team. He didn't play right back when he was in La Liga. He
played right back for Atletico Madrid on occasion.
Yeah, but on occasion, than regularly.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
I
don't understand it.
I think that a lot of the reason the formation has been set up this way so far is because Zinchenko isn't healthy enough to start, and we don't really have a backup left back. We were trying to let Kieran Tierney leave, which he has. He's gone to Real Sociedad on loan.
Mm-hmm.
We have this sort of policy that we've adopted where if we're trying to move the player on, whether it be a loan or a sale, we're not playing them. It's the same thing with Balogun. We didn't play Balogun even though Jesus was out and we needed a backup to Nketiah. So that just seems to be the policy. Don't put him in a game and let him get injured and jeopardize this move away from the club.
Yeah, it's
fine. I fully expect that once Zinchenko is back healthy enough to start, we have our back four from last season again, because this back four is not working. Partey's not a right back. He doesn't stay in the right back position. That first goal is not his fault, but he has already drifted into midfield at that point, and Ben White is in the position where he's in right back position, so there's nobody in the center back position where Ben White's supposed to be, which is where Bukayo Saka passes the ball. It's a combination of errors that led to a goal. Fine. Mistakes happen, but this formation that we did not play at all in preseason and have played the first 3 games with in the Premier League is not working. I think Mikel Arteta will realize that once he has the players available to select to change it. Kivior, not a natural left back, but I think he did fine filling in for Zinchenko in this game, filling in for Tomiyasu, who was suspended, couldn't play there. Fine.
Yeah.
Adelia, I'm with you. I understand. Then why isn't Gabriel playing?
Because I think he trusts Ben White to play both the center back position, which he was before he started playing right back last year, and the right back position, which is what he has to do when Thomas Partey drifts into midfield. Gabriel doesn't know how to play right back. Ben White spent all of last season playing right back, so he's basically covering 2 positions at the same time, which is not good and not ideal, but it's what he's decided to go with.
So, Kai Havertz gets replaced.
Yeah.
And by Fabio Vieira.
Fabio Vieira was
dynamo.
the star of this game.
What a dynamo.
100%.
Love that guy.
How do you keep him on the bench now?
That's easy. That's
Easily.
pretty easy.
He's too inconsistent.
He
came in and he was great, but he's too inconsistent.
He's also when people are tired in the game, you throw in the stick of dynamite, let him run around, get a penalty in the box, and that's your role. Like there's a lot of people it's a lot of people who are like, you're a tremendous player, but you're a spark plug. You're a super
sub.
You're a super sub. Like it happens all the time. But then those super subs be like, yo, man, I'm a starter, man. Let me go start. And they leave and then they start for somewhere. And then you realize they're actually that good because they're not 80-minute men, 70-minute men, 90-minute men, if you think about it. They're not. Yeah. You throw them in, you get a good 60 minutes, 50, and you're like, you're great, but you're good in that little subsection. And I think
another guy this week like that.
No, but I think the problem with Kai Havertz is I don't think he should be. I think, like I said, it should be Rice, Partey, Odegaard. That's what it should be. But we're injured.
I
agree
right that's the best starting 3 in the midfield. I have not minded what Kai Havertz has been doing. I don't mind. People are forgetting that he's not out there as a center forward in these games. Like if he scores goals, that's great, but that's not his. It's
not his job.
Job in the team right now. But people are used to seeing him play that position for Chelsea pretty much all of last year, and so that's what they think he's going to do. That's not what he's out there doing. I think that he's not gelled with Odegaard and Rice the way that necessarily you would have wanted him to at this point. And I think that the thing to do is to have him be like a super sub, if you will, off the bench for a while.
You bombs away.
Or put him in a game where they can play the 3 of them where it doesn't affect the rest of the team, or when we have a settled back 4 again. There's just so much because of injury to Zinchenko that has changed the way that we play that I don't think you can really truly fully judge Kai Havertz's play so far this season, and I don't think he's been as bad as people say he has been.
No, he hasn't. We're judging him on an attacking note. No, he's a midfielder. He's doing midfielder things. He's winning duels, playing some solid defense, box to box. He's not going to score 30 goals or 20 goals. Well, Martin Odegaard scored 15. Yeah, that's cool. No, but that's Martin Odegaard.
I'm not sure if he's if he's a midfielder. I don't see him. Like, he's not a striker, but like a number 10, like he's a winger. That's what I think.
So put him on the wing?
I would think playing.
But who are you taking out to put him
don't.
on the wing? Martinelli
You
or
don't.
Saka?
You don't.
So that's why he's playing further back in the midfield.
No, Adelia, I agree with you. That's why you don't play him when you put him in the game. You put him at wing. Like, oh, we need to get Martinelli out. Give him a break.
I fully believe Trossard is Martinelli's backup. Basically.
That's true.
I fully believe that the Kai Havertz move was to add depth to the squad.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to see if he could start in this formation, and it's not working.
Yeah.
So put him on the bench, make him a sub, have him start to care about cup games or whatever. I don't want to see this formation at all once we get to the Champions League. But I do understand to a certain extent why they've been playing this way so far.
Mm-hmm. It's not like we paid $100 million for him and put him on the bench like a certain team in blue.
Yeah.
Did with their. I was talking about Man City. I wasn't talking about Chelsea.
Talking
about Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish was bought and then made him.
They did that. They put him on the bench. They gave him time to learn their systems and everything, and he learned. And when he did come in, then he was much more of an impact player.
That's what we should do with Kai.
Nobody in City is complaining about Jack Grealish. I can tell you.
No one's complaining.
You know what, man? I'm a big fan of Jack Grealish. The personality.
Let's move on to the rest of the game.
Now, because the controversy comes next when Nketiah scores, but Saka had taken down. Oh gosh,
he injures Calvin Bassey.
Yeah, it was Bassey. Takes Bassey down, tackles him down. Paul Tierney does not make a call. Now, you see him down. You guys don't have to play the ball out of bounds. I don't care about that at all. Arsenal did the right thing. You play till you get a whistle. Like, I think it's ridiculous when you play the ball out. If like the other guys, if somebody's hurt, unless it's a head injury, that it's a different story. It wasn't a head injury.
No.
But it should have been a call that was made on the play. I'm shocked that it wasn't made.
I agree.
Now you guys score. Obviously Marco Silva, just a little upset. He's a little upset.
Marco Silva's gotten a yellow card in every game so far this season.
Yeah,
Adding insult to injury to Calvin Bassey, he ends up getting a red and get kicked out the game.
It was the second yellow.
It was second yellow.
It was the first one again. It was a time wasting one. But again, it's the same thing that happened with Tomiyasu, where somebody else had the ball for 10 minutes and then he had it for 5 or something like that. Worth the wasting. So it's like, all right, enough. And just the last guy will get the card. This one, it's a good yellow. It's a good yellow take. He stopped there was another guy back. That's the only reason why that isn't a red card when he blocks Saka. Now they're playing a man down and really hadn't done much throughout the second half. That is until there's a corner and somehow nobody marks Paulinho.
Nobody.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Falls to his boot, and with 4 minutes left to go, Fulham steal a point out of this game. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I know a couple people that can't be happy with this. They can't be.
He just runs across.
No,
he just runs across free.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of no. Sorry, I'm actually I have it up right here. He doesn't even run across. Like, let me tell you what he does. He stops. And everyone sees him. No one runs and marks him. It's not like Mitrovic last year, where Mitrovic was hiding behind, then he ran in front of everybody. That means you're just not fast enough to keep up with Mitrovic. He literally runs, stops, and there is 2 Arsenal players. No, I'm looking at 3 Arsenal players. He's in a triangle. None of them say, you know what? How about I get that guy?
I can't tell if on corners I can't tell on corners if we're playing zone or we're playing man. If whoever had Paulinho, if they're playing man, lost him completely.
So it was
if they were playing zone, it was a terrible,
awful
lack of whatever. It was awful. I think having Gabriel back in the team would have helped with that a little bit because, he's very good at defending corners. There's nothing about that was good.
I'll tell you the three players that were in the triangle. It was two wingers and Declan Rice. So Saka and Martinelli with Declan Rice. There's only one of them who's a defensive minded player. The other ones just looked at Paul and you're like, eh.
Yeah. It was a missed assignment. It was late in the game, and somebody fell asleep at the wrong time. Mark Silva not happy with Paul Tierney. Let's just mention that again. He says more things after the game. He's probably going to end up getting fined. Don't be surprised if he gets a fine for it. Called it a joke. It's refreshing to hear the truth sometimes, but that truth is going to cost him some money. Let's move on. Sheffield United.
Before we move on,
this will be fast.
Before we move on. No.
Oh, you want some more? Arsenal? Okay, go ahead.
Shout out to Eddie Nketiah.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't get a lot of credit. I think he does a phenomenal job being the 9. I think he should be given a little bit. I think he should start, and I think they should seriously, man, because he knows how to play with them. Because he's known Bukayo Saka since they were 12. And him and Martinelli become close friends. He knows how to play with them. Gabby has been injured, has been coming in, and he's inconsistent.
I would really like to see, even though Gabby Jesus is back, I would really like to see Eddie Nketiah start against.
I think he should start. And I think the only reason he isn't seen that way is that he was an academy kid who stayed with the team that he was with. And they never sold him, and they kept him, and they think he's not good. He's a Premier League striker. I think he starts on any other. I think he starts on a lot of.
He needs to score more, but he's good.
Yeah, but I just want to point out in his last 14 games at the Emirates, he has scored 16 goals.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good.
And I think he should play more. He should start. I agree with the deal. He should start. He should be our starter.
I think when Gabby Jesus went out last year, you guys looked a lot better.
We did.
When he came back in, everything kind of got mixed up
because Eddie got hurt. Yeah. People forget Eddie got hurt last year.
Yeah, keep him there. Keep him. Play him.
Keep him.
It's fine.
And that goal against Man United, that was a striker's goal. Just a little flick of the heel.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
I'm already a liar, basically. So let's move on.
You were definitely going to be a liar.
Yeah, I was not going to get.
We're never going to have a show that was 40 minutes long covering everything with Fares on it as a guest.
That's true. Sheffield United lose to City. Not so surprising. What's surprising is how much of a fight they put up. Especially
the game was surprising.
63 minutes. Of course, Holland missing a first half penalty was
weird.
Not a great one.
Well, my fantasy team.
He did not play great, but he did. He does manage to get the first goal. Really nice header, so much power. He just seemed to hang in the air for so long. It's almost like he volleyball spiked it with his head in. Took out some frustration from 67 minutes of being pretty well bogged down by Sheffield, who played really well defensively for the most part. Because a shocker. They go and get an 85th minute goal from Jaden. Was this Bogle? Is that how you pronounce it?
I think.
Yeah. The place blows up. Everyone's super excited for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Because Rodri scores. Larousse. Now, just a quick talk about that. He's running towards the ball. The ball is going out. He slows down. He slows up. And eventually trips, but City doesn't stop. This is what champs do. They never stop. Larousse took his time, slipped. The ball goes the other way or whatever, and it gets its way to Roger and he scores. All he had to do is play it out. You play it out, you kill the play. Play it out, you kill that play. Just put it further down. You don't even have to kick it directly out. Just put it further down and out.
Yeah.
This is why you're taught. Put it out. I don't know. I'm sure there was a stern talking to after the match.
Probably.
Put the goddamn ball out, and then we'll see if how much playing time Larousse gets. But it's Sheffield United. You know what I mean?
Actually, Man City was-
This was definitely the best that I think Sheffield United has looked this season, but still.
Well, actually, in the 19th minute, Manchester City was actually robbed of a goal because I personally didn't think Nathaniel Ake was offsides. I think he was onsides, and he scored that goal. And you know, I enjoy when a defender scores a goal because you know.
You want to talk about possession? City had 80% of it. They had the ball for 80% of the time. In the first half, I think it was 83% of the time. These are incredible numbers, fantastic, amazing numbers. They win. They should have won. Has any of the newly promoted sides won yet this year? Because Burnley
all lost.
Lose to Villa 3-1.
Yeah, they've all lost.
And it didn't take them long to get on the scoreboards. Matty Cash scoring 7 minutes in. Nice play from Ollie Watkins. Gets another one at 12 minutes later. A nice wall pass from Diaby. And Diaby also gets a goal later on. And then, well, for Burnley, it's Lyle Foster scores. Now, he did I want to just talk about this goal real quick, just because of the great job he did boxing out Pau Torres. The ball is coming in. He's in the box. He just positioned himself well defensively, and then just that spin to get the ball in. I thought it was a very nice goal. Obviously meaningless. It made the game 3-1. But yeah, it made the game 2-1 or whatever, and Diaby scored later on. But I just really like that play, and I think it's a play that isn't used as often these days, and just a simple box out. It's almost like playing with your back to the hoop in basketball. Fares, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think you know what. The more I'm watching, Burnley's going to get relegated because I think because I'm looking at their roster and I'm looking at the sheet that the half of those dudes on that squad look like children.
Yep,
they look like children, man. And I know one of them is a legitimate 18-year-old because I'm actually watching that dude for the U.S. men's national team, Luca Colasholo. He's capped provisionally for the Italian national team, but he can make that one-time switch if the United States wants to heavily recruit him and try to convince him. But they're just too young. They're really young kids. And Unai Emery, he is resurrecting himself in the eyes of the English Premier League because of that absolute unmitigated boggling of the Arsenal job. When I heard Arsenal hired him, I'm like, I'm actually a fan of this because I think he did really good at PSG with the circumstances of having a country tell you what to do. You have to deal with like the biggest star in the world. You actually did very good because everyone else that came after you was fired after a year, and it was very off-putting. And I think he's fixing it up because he lost Tyrone Mings, so he needs to change the way he defends. And he went to a back three because I don't think he did a back three all of last year. I think they were a back four team, right? Or am I misremembering this?
I can't remember.
Yeah, but against Newcastle it was a back four though, right?
It could have. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm pretty sure it was a back four against Newcastle. Yeah.
So like his best defender's down, and he's retooling. Also, too, they were also coming off of an extremely disappointing performance in European Conference League qualifiers against an Italian team. I don't remember who it was, where that Italian team beat them like 3-1, and it was not good. They did not play good in that. So it was kind of like they used this game as a bounce back game. Let's get back our confidence against Burnley. And they did. And Moussa Diaby, man. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the guy.
They've had an up and down year this year. Yeah. Like they did not play well against Newcastle. In the last they do well again last week. They do well against this week. They're scoring goals now. Unai Emery was my choice for manager of the year last year. I thought that's how good of a job he did taking over for Gerrard.
If he beat out Mikel Arteta for that last year, I would have been fine because I think he was the only other worthy candidate.
Yeah.
Pep
'Cause,
won,
like-
I believe.
Yeah, but they're always going to give it to Pep.
Yeah.
Pep won?
Yeah.
He always wins. What are you talking about? Let's go on to the last
Man, I
match.
could have coached that team to a treble. Get out of here.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Last game of the week, and absolutely nothing happened in this one. It was
Also,
totally
by the way,
Oh boy.
By the way,
pedestrian game.
Vincent Company needs to stop wearing that hat with that blazer.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
Either you
Okay.
go full blazer or you don't. Full suit
Full
or no
blazer
suit.
or you
Go full
don't.
suit. Go full
Okay.
suit. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it was a if this was a wrestling match, it'd be called a slobber knocker. Liverpool wins. Now, Newcastle get on the board first, but let's
Yes.
preface this.
Before Newcastle gets on the board.
Before they get on the board, Trent Alexander-Arnold is already on a yellow card, and
He gets 6 minutes in.
Yeah, he pulls down Anthony Gordon. It's a clear and obvious foul that isn't called because it's not a red card offense. It can't be reviewed by VAR and he can't be sent. He can't be sent to do it. Okay, so Trent Alexander-Arnold is still on the pitch when Mo Salah plays a ball back to him that he absolutely flubs. And it's Gordon this time alone at net and puts it through the wickets on Allison, and it's a 1-0 Newcastle lead, and Eddie Howe's pumped. Everybody's pumped. Minutes later, I don't know why people are calling this controversial. To me, it was cut and dry. To me, it was cut and dry.
The Van Dijk straight red.
Virgil van Dijk is a step late on Alexander Isak, who gets another a fantastic ball in from Anthony Gordon. Now, when he comes into him, his knee hits Isak's leg, who's at the box. He's moving in. He has beaten Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk knees him, and then the ball hits his foot and goes out. And the people on the broadcast I was listening to were up in arms about how at best it's a foul and a free kick. The very extreme, a yellow card. That's not a red card. And I said, "You got it, guys. You guys are out of your mind. You guys are out. That's a clear and obvious red card. It's a straight red card, so it has to go to VAR. And in their infinite wisdom, we'll never say that VAR is right ever in my life. But yeah, they agree. Yeah, that's a straight red card. So Virgil van Dijk is kicked out of this game, the Liverpool captain, after 27 minutes. And I think maybe a lot of that card had to deal with he knew that he screwed up with Alexander-Arnold. He knew by that time he had screwed up.
Yeah.
So yeah, show the red card
Completely
or whatever.
Takes him out. Yeah. It was a complete like wipeout. It wasn't like, like trip, like, we tripped over each other's feet. Like, nah, you see him clearly take him out. And that Anthony Gordon goal. I have a question. I don't say I'm a smart man, but I know some things. So Adelia, Rob.
Yeah.
Why do we have defenders in this world who don't know how to defend? Who don't know how to receive a ball back so you can push it forward? Who just sit there with stone feet and say, "Oh, that's a soccer ball. Where is it going?" Oh,
yeah.
Hey, that guy with blonde hair is running away. Well, I should probably chase after him. He's not wearing the same jersey as me. What? I don't understand people's. He's not a defender. You had a midfield problem. You saw him play midfield for England, and he was very good. And instead of just like, you know what, Alexander, I'm gonna buy an actual defender who plays your position. I'm just gonna shove you in the middle of the field because you can't defend. You have shown a high, actually, like, amen. You've shown a higher proficiency in the midfield. You have you played defender, so you have defensive tendencies on occasion. I'm just gonna stick you there and see what happens because you playing right back. Because I always go to this game, Rob. The first it was a random day. I was at work, Rob, and I put Paramount Plus on.
Sure. And
they were like, UEFA Champions League finals on. I'm like, whoa, wait, what? Huh? A random Sunday. And I put it on. And guess who was playing, Rob? Real Madrid and Liverpool. I'm like, oh, Real Madrid and Liverpool? Mo Salah? Cool. I'm watching the game. Vinny Jr. scores a goal. And I'm just sitting there like, that turnstile 66 does not know how to play defense. Because that was that goal. If I could have scored that goal, that's how bad he was. He's not a defender.
No.
He doesn't know how to play defense. Stop playing him at defense.
I disagree.
Put him in the midfield.
I disagree.
I firmly disagree.
No, you know what? No, I don't disagree.
I hate
don't
Liverpool.
disagree.
I want him back there. Yeah,
keep him there. You're right, Rob. Keep him there.
They
keep
can
him there.
put more
But as a football mind, I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, also too, Eddie Howe blew this game because of his subs. Why are you taking it, Anthony Gordon?
It was going to be my next thought.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
72nd minute. The guy, he was all over the pitch. Now, Almiron had his chances. I think Allison made a pretty amazing save on one chance.
They played very well.
Put it off the post and out. Almiron hits the post with another. But where's the urgency? Where's the urgency to put this game away?
They backed up.
They totally did.
They totally. And he takes out Sandro Tonali as well. What are you doing?
Yeah.
He took Anthony Gordon, Tonali, and Isak at the same time. He brought on Harvey Barnes, Callum Wilson, and Sean Longstaff.
Does Callum Wilson get along with anybody on his team?
Do they hate him?
He looks angry all the time. Like if anything goes wrong, he's on a player. You watch him or whatever. Like there was the chance that Barnes was coming in by himself or whatever. He was coming in with Callum Wilson. For some reason, I think Wilson was right. Barnes should have tried making the pass, but Harvey Barnes tries himself, gets pushed away, and you could see him just yelling. You could see him yelling at him.
This team is making Darwin Núñez have confidence. He was mentally crushed, and I was enjoying it. But Newcastle was like, you know what? Let's allow him to score 2 goals in a span of 3 minutes.
We talked about earlier.
It was 9 minutes.
9 minutes, whatever, Delia. I'm speaking hyperbolically. Yeah. Screw these teams. They both suck.
We were talking about super subs and people talking about how Núñez isn't getting off the bench. And I said, this is the reason why he doesn't get off the bench. He is that 15-minute punch or whatever that you're going to need. Of course, he needed to score. He's done this before and stuff like that. He's looked good in spaces. He's never put this complete a match together. This is obviously not the guy that they paid this much for,
Absolutely
but I'm sure it's a welcome thing for them. Getting 2 goals down a man with 10 minutes left against a European playing team. A European playing team that has not looked, aside from that first match, they played well against Villa, but like that game against City, I thought they looked weak.
Yeah.
They looked weak and they were never a threat. And then this weekend, after the Anthony Gordon goal, where is everybody? Where are they?
They backed off. They didn't push forward, because I think if they pushed forward and they kept attacking, I think the St. James's Park power could have helped them win. It's like there's a couple of these teams that when they're at home, they're a little different. It's like Anfield. I hate it. I despise it. And I hate when Adelia says, it's Anfield, Fares. Crazy shit. I was like, yeah, I know, Adelia. It just pisses me off. Because I'm like, how does that happen? Like, how does that happen? How did that man fall to his left, kick a goal, and it bounced in? It just makes no sense. Even though she's completely correct, because she's always correct, Adelia's always right, because she is.
What about me?
Rob, shut up. But that's the thing with St. James's Park. When the park is rocking and the Geordies are moving and grooving, you tend not to win. But they kind of like, the team is chilling, so we're gonna chill.
Yep.
No. You can't chill, because you can't allow the fans to go chill. You need them to go yelling and raucous and yelling and going crazy, because I think they could have scored more than 1 goal. But they're like, 1 goal's enough. We'll just keep. Liverpool has no defense. Liverpool has no defense. Why are you backing up? They have no defense, and their best defender was sent off. Why aren't you attacking them at every single moment?
Yeah.
And their best defender has kind of lost a step too. And it's kind of sad that he's their best defender and he's lost a step.
Well, he proved it. He proved he lost his step.
Yeah.
And you were okay with one. You were okay with 1-0. No.
No.
Like
Yeah, no. I thought Guimaraes threw the game away too. That was such a bad pass. That's what I don't even know what he was thinking there. It's just sloppy. Is people just not. You have to keep your mind in the game for the 90 minutes plus that it takes all the time. It's your only job. Once a week, you have to be super focused on what you're doing. And he just didn't give the ball up to Salah. Salah finds Nunes.
Speaking of Liverpool,
it was a real good goal.
Speaking of Liverpool, the Saudi league is preparing a $162 million offer for Mo Salah.
He's not going to go.
Maybe not. We don't know that.
They won't accept it.
No.
$162 million for a 31-year-old.
Yeah, it's an amazing amount of money, and they're not going to do it because Klopp.
31-year-old.
Yeah, Klopp is a proud man. He says he's part of this club. Blah blah blah. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. But it is the last week, and we're finished. We're finished with all the talking about the games. Last week before the transfer window closes, any big signings you want to see for Arsenal? Anything? I think you guys are good, but is there anything that you guys could see?
I think we're pretty good. I don't really know of anything that could possibly be in the works. If they want to bring in backup for Saka, I'd be fine with it. But I also think they're possibly Havertz isn't going to play on the right.
No.
I think that possibly Nicolas Pepe is staying at the club now to be the backup for Saka, which Nicolas Pepe was not the worst signing in the world. He just didn't fit with what we were doing all that well. If he buys into the system, to get Saka a break. Saka's played 83 consecutive Premier League games, which is insane. So it's a club record. So I could see some backup for Saka, but other than that, I don't think we're going to be doing much.
That's why I really want Mohamed Kudus, but then I realized he's more of a midfield player, so he doesn't enjoy the wing. So
yeah,
I'll give up on that dream quickly.
There's talk going on about Chelsea picking up Emile Smith-Rowe. Just
stay away from him. All right, you stay away. You stay away. All right, stay away from him.
They also say maybe Rafinha. There might be Rafinha too.
I will say that I don't know where Emile Smith-Rowe fits into the team anymore, so I could see him leaving. I just hope that we don't sell him to Chelsea.
Yeah,
or another Premier League club. Really.
I think he's a winger, right? So why isn't that Saka's backup?
I don't think Arteta has any trust in him.
Yeah,
because he was injured.
Well, he came back, Fares, and barely played.
How about you trot him out there and see what he does? Like these coaches, like, oh man, I don't know how he's gonna do in the game. How about you play him and see? You're overthinking this. If he plays like shit in the game, you take him out.
Fares, that's basically what happened last year.
Mm-hmm.
They played him, and he did not play well, so they stopped playing him.
I thought he was injured last year, though.
He was, and then he came back, and they played him a little bit, and he did not play well, and they stopped playing him.
Oh, so but we keep playing Gabriel when he played like shit after coming from injury. We just kept playing him.
Gabriel scored lots in the run up
in the first half.
Yeah.
In the second half,
yes, we also didn't really. Fares, why are you getting so angry? For one thing,
sorry.
Secondly, we didn't really have any backup for Gabriel Jesus because Eddie Nketiah was injured, and Trossard's at best a false nine, but he was playing for other positions. We didn't have anybody.
You're right. But we don't have anyone for Saka, so we need to give that man a break.
Yes, we do. That's why I want him to have some backup. I just don't think it's going to be.
I think we
is.
Either we get a backup for Saka or we get an extra defender because of the Jurriën Timber and Kieran Tierney.
You guys are going to get lots of free spaces on your bingo card this year. Just looking at the bottom of the table, those are 8 games where Saka does not have to play to make a difference in those games.
Yeah.
So he'll get his breaks.
Who starts?
Another guy. It doesn't matter against them. Another guy to look out for.
If Pepe stays, it's Pepe that starts.
Look out for Ryan Turkey might be
Nicolas Pepe. I think I'm the only person who actually likes him.
With our prognostications, we had a clear and decisive winner this week. I don't want to mention who it is.
Adelia.
Yeah, it wasn't me, so that's why I didn't want to mention it. Now, The week prior was the three of us, Fares.
How bad did I do?
For the first time, we had a three-way tie for first. We all got the same.
Yeah, we all got him.
We all got 6. We all got 6 points.
Really?
So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't shit the bed.
no, you did fine.
We all did.
We lots of wins and just each one of us missed a draw, and that's it. Just different draws, but yeah, that was the only thing that we really got too wrong. So we're back having 10 games this week coming up. A week before they take a week off. It's going to start Friday, and it's Luton.
I can't wait for this game.
Luton and West Ham.
Yeah, I want to see what the atmosphere at Luton's going to be like because it's the first game at Kenilworth Road.
Yeah,
it's going to be something.
Yeah, as far as the atmosphere, it's going to be an important game. It's going to be super fun. A tiny little box.
Yeah.
And as far as what happens on the pitch,
West Ham will destroy them.
Yeah, it's not going to be close. Fares, what do you say?
West Ham.
Yeah. Okay, we are.
West Ham doesn't win, beat them 3-0, then it's an issue.
Here's a toughie for you guys.
Do I get an extra if I guess the right scoreline?
No.
Oh, what?
You can. I'll write it down for you. I'll write it down for you. And
3-0.
All right, 3-0. 3-0. Okay. Next game, it could be interesting.
James Ward-Prowse goal.
Maybe not in a weird.
I'm betting
in a good way, but a weird way. Sheffield United are playing Everton next week.
I'm gonna go Sheffield United.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Sheffield or Liverpool?
It's in Sheffield.
I'm gonna go draw.
Sheffield. Smart. I am going to say Everton because they sure get lots of chances.
They do. That's true.
I think it's gonna happen like it's gonna be the Wolves game where they have a lot of chances.
It very well
could be. Sheffield's gonna get like a dribbler.
It very well could be. Brentford and Bournemouth.
Brentford.
Bournemouth
ain't gonna be good until Tyler Adams shows up.
Brentford.
They might not be good after Tyler Adams shows up.
That's true. I'm taking
have faith in Tyler Adams.
I have
faith in Tyler Adams. I do not have faith in Bournemouth.
Do you think Burnley can beat Spurs?
No.
Not this Spurs.
No, not this one. And I don't enjoy saying it.
I so don't enjoy this.
It's good old your favorites and mine. Maybe the most attractive team in the British Premier League, Chelsea, taking on the slugs that are Forest.
Chelsea.
Forest.
Yeah, okay, sure.
It's at Stamford Bridge, right?
It's at the Bridge.
Then definitely
draw.
Chelsea.
You're switching to draw? All right. I'm taking Chelsea. Awonyi has scored in 7 consecutive games. Does he score?
Makes it 8.
Does he score? I'm gonna put
that down and give me an extra point if that happens.
I'm putting down an Awonyi.
We don't give extra points, Fares.
Yeah.
Well, I'm changing the rules.
Yeah. Well,
we can't change the rules.
Now, does City fall asleep late against Fulham?
No.
No, they don't. They're at home.
Not with those big ass human beings in the back. And Kyle Walker.
They fell asleep late against.
I love how Kyle Walker's the shortest one.
They did fall asleep late against Sheffield, but I don't know who's going to be scoring.
Someone has to score. Someone has to score. Brighton and Newcastle. Now this again.
This is fascinating.
Wait. Is
at the Amex? It's at the Amex.
Oh, it's at the Amex. I'm gonna go Newcastle with the rebound.
Ooh, okay. I like
Newcastle with the rebound.
I'm gonna go Brighton at home.
Brighton. Okay, I like it. I'm gonna say the good old draw, because why not? That way, everybody's got to get a mark from there somewhere there. Palace and Wolves.
Palace.
I think.
Wait, is it at Palace? Is that Selhurst?
Yeah, it's at Selhurst Park.
Okay.
I think this is the match where they get going.
I think Ezzy. I think IU probably gets on the scoreboard.
He needs to get going. Liverpool and Aston Villa. No
Aston
Virgil
Villa.
van Dijk.
At,
No
Is it
Virgil van
at
Dijk.
Anfield.
It's
Is
at
it at
Anfield.
Anfield?
Yeah.
Draw.
No Van Dyke.
No Van Dyke. Ooh, yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
You know what? Aston Villa.
Okay.
I think Musa Diablo is gonna take advantage of that back line. You know what? If I was
They
Unai
got a lot of
Emery,
weapons.
if I was
They got a
Unai
lot of
Emery,
They do.
I'll put Diaby on Trent Alexander-Arnold's side.
Just have to pressure him. He's gonna make a
I'm
Yeah.
mistake.
gonna say draw.
Okay.
That's probably more likely gonna happen, but I want to go Aston Villa win.
I'm going Villa.
Yeah.
Now, another, and to wrap up the week, another, I think it's a marquee matchup, especially early in the season. We have the Arsenal Football Club versus Manchester United.
Arsenal
Arsenal.
2-1.
I can't not pick them.
Yeah,
And I can't say this is going to be a draw either.
Do you guys see yourselves playing a back three?
I don't know
Shit,
what we're
fuck
going
it,
to
why
do.
not?
I think you pressure the living shit.
Put it back two out there. I don't give a shit.
You pressure the living
Win the
shit out of the
game.
midfield, guys. They still have no midfield. Their midfield.
That's what I'm
have no
saying. See, no,
midfield.
here's the thing. This is the game.
This is why
where-
Party needs to be in the midfield. in this
Exactly.
game.
This is the game where you do not start Kai Havertz. You start the two defensive holding midfielders. Because here's the thing, too. Rice and Party are going to abuse them. They're stronger, they're faster, and they're younger than them. Casemiro is over the age of 30. Bruno Fernandes doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And Christian
knows what he's
Eriksen
doing.
is old too. And I think Party and Rice are just going to shove him around, control the midfield. Also, too, you know, if you're not going to start Kai Havertz, you know who you should start? You start Jorginho.
No.
You start
You're
Jorginho.
talking
Why
about
not?
he's old too. He's old and he's slow.
Nah,
28.
don't start Jorginho.
He's old and he's slow. He's
How old is Jorginho?
I have no idea, but he's old and slow.
I find you don't start Jorginho.
Yeah, you don't want him. He's a great guy to send
Party.
on late.
Party, Rice. You let them control the midfield using their physicality, and you allow Odegaard to conduct it from the 10th spot.
Don't worry about Odegaard. Odegaard's
Yeah.
terrific. He's a terrific player.
Yeah.
And you know what? Eddie Nketiah plays very well against Man United.
He does. So
Wait, is it at Old Trafford?
it's at ours. It's at the Emirates.
Eddie Nketiah is going to score another goal. Watch it.
Sure.
It's going to
I
be
just hope he
17.
starts. I
You
just
better
hope he
start. I
starts.
swear to God, maybe start him, bro. He's overthinking this. He's overthinking this, bro.
I don't think he's overthinking this. I think he's trying to do what he can with the players that are available to him currently.
Well, I don't care if Gabby Jesus is fully healthy. You started Eddie Nketiah.
Right.
Another
Thank
double-sized issue, Adelia.
Yeah. There was no way this was going to be a 40-minute episode. So.
I'm sorry.
Twice as much for their money. It's a bargain. That's a bargain.
Yeah. Fares, thank you for joining us. Where can the people find you?
Guys, every Friday on this channel, the Let's Get Ready Network, the Highlights YouTube channel, we talk American football. Me and Caleb, good friends, battle rivals, Cowboys, Giants, as well as 8 o'clock Pacific on the entertainment channel. Me and Adelia have our open long forum conversation show, The Open Table. Last week, we had a great guest from the beautiful city of Baltimore, Lunch Break Hot Take, and Tony Hendo. They were great guests. But this week, this Friday, it's Casual Friday, guys. You know, get your t-shirts and your jackets and your jeans because we're going to have some fun.
Why are you wearing a jacket?
Yeah.
Like a hoodie.
That's not a jacket.
That's a sweater. That's a sweater.
Semantics,
That's a hoodie.
Adelia. Me and Adelia are going to be casual on this Friday because it's just me and her having fun conversation. We're gonna peer the door back on me and her's former conversation we used to have at 2 o'clock in the morning. Me and Adelia.
Sure.
Then end up talking till like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like,
We
"What
would,
time is
yeah.
it?" So we're gonna peer back the door on our conversations.
We're going to peer it back.
Peel it back.
Okay.
Peel back the curtain.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them kind of getting mixed
hate
up
you,
at
Dylan.
once, but I like it. I like it.
As well as GFBRFC versus Man City's out on this channel. Watch me scream and yell and talk about how much bullshit FIFA is. That's why it's no longer going to be called FIFA.
That's right.
Okay.
Losers.
Snark, where can the people find you?
Other than here, you can find me on our Twitch channel Sundays with LGRN After Snark, talking with Danny. It's sort of like what you guys do on your shows on Fridays, except if it took place in a prison cell between two people or something like that.
Yeah, sounds
Or-
about right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right. Let's see. I'm also doing a winning time review with a person on this panel as well, with young Fares Muthana. Talking about episode 4 coming up this week.
Mhm.
Also, somehow, I'm talking Star Wars with the Ahsoka show with Danny and Justin. That'll be on the LGRN Entertainment Network as well. So yeah, more stuff. And this place. Starting 11 every week with you, Adelia. Thank goodness for that. Starting 11. That's right.
And you guys can find me on Twitter or X or whatever they're calling the app this week at Adelia Chambo. Here every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific with Starting 11. And as Fair said, the Entertainment Channel every Friday, 8 o'clock Pacific for the Open Table. This week on the Open Table, we will be getting into the Jenny Hermoso situation with the president of the Spanish Soccer Federation and that whole insanity. And we're going to have a conversation about personal space and consent and stuff like that. So that'll be fun.
Tune in.
Yeah. Until next time, guys. We're
You
out.
may agree with us. You may not agree with us. We'll see.
We're out.